What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. We're doing the 2025 Pittsburgh Steelers record prediction. This will also be the final prediction video for the AFC. So we'll knock them out of the way and then have a full playoff picture at the end of this video. And starting off, we have the Steelers on the road taking on the New York Jets. Got ourselves a revenge game here because Aaron Rodgers was on the Jets last year and Justin Fields was on the Steelers last year. So you got both quarterbacks basically swapping teams. I think the Steelers should easily win this game. I don't think the Jets are that good of a team. I mean, they have some players, but the Steelers have better players, to put it bluntly. So I think the Steelers are easily going to win this game and improve to 1-0. All right, and heading to week 2, the Steelers will be playing their home opener against the Seattle Seahawks. And I think the Steelers, they'll probably win this game. I mean, both of these teams are pretty decent. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a low-scoring but close game. But because the Steelers are at home, and I personally think that Aaron Rodgers is better than Sam Darnold, I'm going to have to go with the Steelers here and have them improve their record to 2-0. Alright, and heading to week 3, the Steelers will be on the road taking on the New England Patriots. Patriots, they're a rebuilding team. They have a young quarterback in Drake May. So I actually think the Steelers are going to easily win this game, considering that their pass rush is one of the best in the NFL. They have a great defense overall, and I think that that's going to really suffocate the Patriots' offensive attack. So because of that, I have the Steelers winning and improving to 3-0. All right, heading to week 4, the Steelers will be technically, it's a home game, but it's not really a home game because this game is going to take place in Ireland. I believe this is the first time they've played a game in Ireland, so it should be interesting watching a game like this. And I think it'll be a good one. I think both the Steelers and Vikings have great rosters. But one thing the Steelers have that the Vikings don't is an experienced quarterback. I mean, and this isn't a shot at J.J. McCarthy or anything. It's just when you don't have experience against a team like the Steelers, considering they're going to Ireland as well, I think that's just a lot of factors where experience will help you. So I'm going to go with the more experienced team, the Steelers, and have them improve their record to 4-0. And week 5 is their bye week. I think it's kind of a disservice to the Steelers to have a bye week this early, but I guess it is what it is. They are 4-0, so obviously you can't complain about that. And we'll see how they do the rest of the year. All right, heading to week number 6, they'll be at home taking on the Cleveland Browns. This will be their first match of AFC North football. And I do think the Steelers should win this game. I mean, it's not going to be easy because the Browns always give them a tough time. But considering that the Steelers are at home and considering the Browns are, well, the Browns, I think the Steelers should win this game relatively easily. I mean, I just said it wouldn't be easy, but I still think they're going to win by a decent amount just because of how talented the Steelers are. And point is, I got them winning and going to 5-0. All right, and heading to week 7, the Steelers will be on the road taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And we got their second straight week of AFC North football. And this team's going to be a lot tougher than their first one. They're on the road. They're against a better team, a way better offense, maybe a worse defense, but the offense kind of makes up for it in that regard. And I actually have the Steelers losing. I think they've won 5 games in a row. And I don't want to say they're going to not take the Bengals seriously because it's the AFC North. I mean, they want to, kill every AFC North opponent because that's just how those games go. But I just think the Bengals are going to be more prepared for a game like this at this point. So I think the Steelers are going to lose and go to 5-1. All right, and heading to week number 8, the Steelers will be at home on Sunday Night Football taking on the Green Bay Packers. And I forgot to mention last week they had a Thursday Night Football game, so this is kind of a mini bye week for them. And I think this could be a great game. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is visiting his old team, or I guess rather his old team is visiting him. And I think if Aaron Rodgers can get this win, he'll be one of the very few quarterbacks to have beaten every single team in his career. And I think that would be a really cool thing for him to do. And I actually think he will. I think the Steelers have the defense to really slow down the Packers. And I think they will. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get his victory against the Packers for the first time. And he'll be beating every team. And the Steelers will improve to 6-1. All right, and heading to week 9, the Steelers will be at home taking on the Indianapolis Colts. And I think this is a game, I really don't need to say much about this just because the Colts are a dumpster fire right now when it comes to quarterbacks, which is a shame because the rest of their roster really isn't that bad. It's just their quarterbacks are horrendous. And I think whether it's Anthony Richardson at this point or whether it's still Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones is the starter, I don't think it matters. I think the Steelers are going to win this game. It might be ugly because it's the Steelers, but I still think they're going to win pretty easily and improve to 7-1. All right, and heading to week 10, the Steelers will be on the road taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. And this is going to be... It'll be a game. It'll be a close game in my opinion because I think the Chargers are a good team, but it's not going to be high scoring because the Steelers almost never have high scoring games because of their defense. And I think this game could honestly go either way. I could see the Steelers losing this game just because they're on the road and Justin Herbert is, in my opinion, I would put him at like 6 or 7 on quarterbacks, but he's at the bare minimum top 10 quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers, although I do think he is kind of underrated at this point in his career, he's not top 10. So I'm going to have to kind of think about this for a minute. I had to think about it, but I am still going to pick the Steelers just because, it's Aaron Rodgers' last season because he's going to retire after this year. I think he's going to have some victories that normally the Steelers don't get. And also the Chargers have a tendency to charger. So because of those factors, I'm going to say that the Steelers win and improve to 8-1. All right, and heading to week 11, the Steelers will be at home taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is a game, it's AFC North football, so you know what that means. And I think just because they have won a lot of games, and I'm assuming these games are going to be ugly because it's the Steelers, I actually have them losing this game. I mean, I think they could win this game, but at the same time, they also could have lost a lot of the other games I've talked about. And, the Steelers aren't going to win every single game. So I think they're going to lose this game, get swept by the Bengals, and fall down to 8-2. All right, and heading to week 12, the Steelers will be on the road taking on the Chicago Bears. And this is another revenge game. You got Aaron Rodgers on your team. You're going to have a lot of revenge games, and this certainly is one because you've got Aaron Rodgers, who's tortured the Bears for years, playing against the Bears on the Steelers. So we'll see how this game goes. I mean, you would think the Steelers would win, but I actually think they're going to lose. I think the Chicago Bears are going to get the last laugh on Aaron Rodgers. I think they're going to have this game circled 4 times over. They're going to make sure that they bring their A game and beat Aaron Rodgers for one final time. So I have the Steelers losing this game and falling to 8-3. All right, heading to week 13, the Steelers will be at home taking on the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills are a great team, but I do think the Steelers are one of the few defenses that can slow Josh Allen down. Or not necessarily slow him down, but just neutralize him enough to where they have a chance. And this is another game. They have a lot of games on their schedule that I think could go either way. I do think they're going to win this game. I think after losing to the Bears last week and to the Bengals the week prior, I think they're going to be playing their A game here. So I think they're going to go to 9-3 and clinch Mike Tomlin's, continuous winning season record. So yeah, put them at 9-3. All right, and heading to week number 14, the Steelers will be on the road taking on the Baltimore Ravens for their first matchup and for the Steelers' fourth matchup of AFC North football this year. And this is going to be a tough game. The Ravens hate the Steelers hate the Ravens. So you truly don't know what's going to happen, but I think the Ravens are going to win this matchup just because they're at home. And their quarterback is a lot better. So I think because they're at home and they have the better quarterback, I'm going to go with the Ravens here and have the Steelers drop down to 9-4. All right, and heading to week 15, the Steelers will be at home taking on the Miami Dolphins. This will be on Monday Night Football. And I really don't see any way the Steelers lose this game. I mean, it's in December, and I know Dolphins fans are sick and tired of me saying that. But the Dolphins don't play good in December, and the Steelers, this is Steeler football. You know, it's December, it's cold, it's in Pittsburgh. I really don't see any way the Steelers lose this game. I have them winning and going to 10-4. All right, and heading to week 16, the Steelers will be on the road taking on the Detroit Lions. And this is one of the few games the Steelers have this year where I really don't think they stand a chance. The Lions are just such a stacked roster, and it's in Detroit. And you know the Lions faithful is going to come and watch that. I just don't see any way the Steelers win this game just because of how good the Lions offense is. And their defense isn't that bad either. I mean, last year they were just super injured. And I'm going to have to say the Steelers lose this game and drop down to 10-5. All right, and heading to week 17, the Steelers have their second final matchup against the Cleveland Browns. And I think the Steelers should win this game just because it's against a bad team, even if it is a divisional opponent. I don't see them losing this game. I think they're going to beat the Browns and improve their record to 11-5. All right, and heading to week 18 for their final AFC North matchup in the regular season at least, the Steelers will be at home taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And this is going to be for the division, most likely, considering what I had for my predictions for the Ravens. So I think the Steelers could win. I think the Steelers are going to win. I think because for some reason Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback, but he plays so bad for some reason against the Steelers when it's in Pittsburgh, and I really don't see that changing. Considering that it's going to be in the Steelers' favor, considering that they're a cold weather team, and I think the Steelers are going to win and clinch the AFC North with a record of 12-5. And there you have it. That's what I have the AFC North as. I have the Steelers winning it, which will definitely shock some people. Then I have the Ravens making second, Cincinnati third, Cleveland fourth. And that's going to wrap up the AFC North, and it's actually going to wrap up all the AFC predictions. So I have my playoff brackets set, and I'm going to reveal that once I get done predicting the NFC North, and then I'll do a whole video dedicated to the playoffs that I think will happen. But yeah, that's all I got for now. If you're still watching, I appreciate you for watching. I know this was a longer video and I rambled a little bit, but I'll see you probably by tomorrow with my Chicago Bears record prediction. So I'll see you there, and peace out.